Hello, I'm Denise, and I have your readings all ready, but I wanted to give you a heads up and let you know that you may want to check out the other readings that would cover your moon and your ascendant, as well as your sun. That way you have a bigger perspective over the opportunities coming your way for the month. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this reading is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and or Ascendant, and this spread will cover March 29th through April 4th, and I'm using the Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann. Okay, so wow, what a powerful week. The theme for the week here is the Emperor. I always assign the center card as the theme, but it can also work more into the middle week. I'm looking at this as being, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in that direction. So beginning of the week, mid, end of the week. But often it's, often I end up with feeling like it's a summary of, adding up all the cards together, and then it's kind of a message for the week. My question is always drop in, and I ask for the greater consciousness, divine intelligence, the laws of love, the forces of love to open up to me into the realm of Sagittarian energy, or whatever sign I'm reading for, and to ask for what the opportunities will be that'll be presented for the time and place. So again, March 29th to April 4th. We're in the energy of being in your authority, being in your true power, knowing that the universe is always bringing in more and more energy, more and more divine consciousness, more energy and consciousness for us to use from the inside out, of course. And notice he has a little tattoo here, is the Ankh sign, the sign of life. So he's all about a vital life force. It's dad energy, but it's it can be either any gender, any orientation or identification. It's just about self, strong self energy. It rules Aries. The Emperor rules all the kings as well. And we have three kings here. That's amazing. So there's a lot of really powerful energy. It may be one of those weeks where you're managing all the different powerful, forces that are here for all of us all the time. But this is definitely a wonderful week to, set the rest of the month. That we've got the mom and the dad energy here. We have, the King and the Queen of Cups are just the most sensitive and the most helpful and caring and nurturing. The King of Swords is all about, strategy and seeing things from the higher perspective. You've been through the battles and you know that you can create anew, but you want to do it from a place of wisdom. And, towards the end of the week, it's about just going for it. But to go back, I don't want to skate over anything here. So being in your power is the theme, and nurturing your creations. The Empress is, notice how she's pregnant with the world. It's the energy and consciousness of bringing life down, life from the heavens down into the earth. So with every breath, we can spiritualize more matter onto the earth by just bringing more life into our bodies, by just breathing, by just opening up to, all that is, and nurturing yourself in that process. The Empress is all about motherhood, but it's all about nurturing. And I get the sense that there's a lot at play this week for you Sagittarians in the realm of parenting and seeing the big picture, looking to see, this is if you put these together, we have the epitome of nurturing the sensitive spirit, the creative spirit, and with the King of Cups, the on a professional level, we're talking, doctors, therapists, counselors, veterinarians, any and all of the helping professionals, that are out in the workforce. And then on the more spiritual level, we're dealing with more of, the intuitive forces. But just, always keeping the energy, trying to keep the emotional body clear. He's all about emotional intelligence. He just emanates love from his heart, of course. Just very, very sensitive. So this could be, parents, mother, father, parents who are really tuned in to their children and their family and the extended family as well, like to the grandparents. And they're seeing the big picture and then they're going for it. This is the energy of going for it, having the courage to bring in more and more protective love into your life, and to put more of your protective love in place. Of course, we're all in the situation where we're in our social distancing, and the kids are not in school. There's more family time, but there's also the the ability to create a really strong structure and foundation where you can have a strategy in place that serves for the future. And, again, it's because of the protective love. And with the salamander here, this guy has, we've got a lot of fiery and water energy here, so it's kind of steamy. But then there's the strategy, so the higher levels of reason come in. This is wonderful. But back to the salamander, this is about, the ability to regenerate and grow something new. You know how salamanders and lizards, if their tail comes off, or if their tail gets broken, they grow a new one. It doesn't just come off. If it gets broken, they grow a new one eventually. And so this is the message in this card to me, is to always go for what you want, but come from the love in your heart, the protective, generous Leo type of love, and if that is what's in force in your life, it will continue to grow and grow and grow, and you're always going to have more strength. With this staff here, it's on fire. The light, the fire that's lit from within, is always going to grow, as long as you're moving towards what you want to create. But it looks to me like this week is about creating a strong, healthy, stable, loving foundation for the family. These are wonderful cards to start the month off. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back for week 2. Okay, this week this spread will cover April 5th through the 11th. And the theme for the week is the Two of Pentacles here, where we're in the energy of balancing, of kind of juggling a lot. There's a lot going on. It looks to be did not start off too busy, but looks to be a very, very active week. So, being careful not to take on too much is important with the Two of Pentacles. Otherwise, you'll end up, like the Ten of Pentacles, where you're overwhelmed and overextended, where there's too much of a burden. So you really have to be careful this week to not take on too much, because if you do, it'll take away from your creative, your new projects, your creative inspiration that you're really, moving towards. So being careful about what you take on will be important, because it looks to me like you're going to have a lot of opportunities. There's news that comes in. There are projects that are up in the air, and the energy is just coming in really quickly. So over the last weekend, and moving towards, into this could be like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in here, where we're coming from, you may have had some really profound dreams. Often this card comes up when I need to ask, do you remember your dreams last night? Because that's pretty much what this card is really about. So looking at your dreams over the weekend, this and another message could be to honor your dreams. You can definitely bring them in and manifest them. That's for sure. But with within the realm of dream time, it's about looking at the unconscious and subconscious. We're in the realm of unconscious time, dream time. But you can bring consciousness into your dream time by facing any fears that may come up. Like if you have someone chasing you in a dream, and you're aware that you're in your dream, you're aware that you're dreaming, it's not real, you can stop and turn around and face them. You could turn around and chase whatever it is that's chasing you, because it's really just an aspect of your own consciousness that's something in your own life that you've been running from. So it's like, if you're being chased, what are you running from? Is always the question. So there's that. And on another level, I like to look at this. Have you ever heard of the saying, like, which wolf do you feed? Like, do you feed the wolf of light that leads you on your path, on your own unique path, or do you feed the wolf of fear and stay stuck? And if you feed the wolf of fear, then, you're kind of like, oh, gosh, just drifting back and like, oh, I don't know what to do. So that's one of the, challenges we all face from time to time. Another level of looking at this card is looking for what is true. And only you can know what's true for you in your own life. Only you can know what is best for you. People talk about illusions and delusions and self-deceptions. Now, sometimes, if this card if this card came up in a reading for like a politician or something, I would say, oh yeah, they're hiding something. But for the rest of us, it's not, we're not in that type of corruption that's going on. So we are faced with always going inside and questioning our beliefs, and are our beliefs based in the truth, or are we in an illusion? So questioning your beliefs is really important, and beliefs are very deeply held. They comprise not just the mental realm, but all of the emotional material. And whenever we have a false belief going on, we have an emotional reaction attached to it, because it's the false belief is there based upon life experience from the past, which could have been very painful. In the traditional, or in the original, like Rider-Waite-Smith, there's at the bottom of the card there's a lobster, which has to do with like the old, like the primordial energy that all humans, all the phases of development that we've lived through, but the primordial energy of of existence. And it can be like the primal scream in the middle of the night, where where you wake up in nightmares and wonder if you're safe. Like that, those types of moments can come up. So to me, it's that energy of just knowing that you can transform anything as long as you face your fears, go through your pain if it comes up, do your grief work if necessary. Always be in your courage to feel your feelings, and then you'll be able to handle anything that comes your way. But it looks like the rest of the week is very, very, very productive. So whatever you've gone through over the weekend, it might be kind of hard to wake up from dream time on Monday morning. If that's the case, you guys will have to let me know. And the rest of the week, things move very, very quickly. You're trying to juggle a lot. And then towards the end of the week, it's that beautiful energy of just putting yourself out there and having fun, like just going with your whatever is the most, what draws you the most, being in your spontaneous real self and just putting it all out there without even, worrying about it at all. It's definitely a card of exploring. And I love this energy here for you, Sagittarius, because there's fire. We've got 3 fiery cards here. That honors your sign. I love that. So putting yourself out there and having more self-confidence than you've ever had before. This is a really nice balance to this card here, because this can be a card of insecurities, but it can also be a card of deep, deep, deep healing on the deepest emotional levels, where you come into a place where your light shines really clear, because the next card after the moon is the sun, and that's all about your heart just shining and shining your light out into the world. But she's shining her light here, and she's definitely bringing her light down to earth here. It's kind of like Shazam. I can create whatever I want. I just have to focus on it. And, the kitty's here to keep her feet warm while she's, sitting and meditating. Whatever it is that, this is a really high energy card here. But just, notice all the candles that are lighting, all the light that she's sitting in. This card is primarily about, I always see it as self-confidence and putting yourself out there to such a level that you can be a mentor for others, or it can be that a mentor comes in to help you out. And it doesn't have to be a woman either. I mean, none of these, this card has more women on it than men, I think, but I don't look at any of the pictures as being a gender, because that's not the way life works. So it's just more the consciousness and energy of the cards. And this week is all about facing any fears, questioning your beliefs. Are they true or not? You want to nurture the true ones, and you want to face the false ones and clear them out. And the energy will be moving very, very quickly, so quickly that you may find yourself having a little bit of a challenge balancing it all out. But to keep going for what you want and know that you can create it. That's the message I get. Okay, I'll be right back with week 3. Okay, this spread will cover the week of April 12th through the 18th. And our theme for the week here is the 8 of Pentacles, which is, of course, all about work. Whether it's, work at home, working from home, or apprenticing, or an internship, type of situation. There's just devotion, complete devotion into what matters most to you. This is definitely the card of, it can be healthcare workers. It's definitely, the physical realm. So we're talking, that always relates to the body and all of our resources. But it's honing in on your craft, whatever that may be. And you may have several, crafty things going on in your life, or you may be, multi-talented. Many people are. And sometimes it's hard to just, focus it on one thing. But the more that you can do that, get into the devotion of what it is that you really love. Like, what really lights your candle? What is it that you just would work on for, long hours? That's always the way to go. So that's a wonderful theme to have for the week, and especially in the, to have the Wheel of Fortune here and the Hanged Man. That's amazing. But we have another Pentacles here. Now the Page of Pentacles is more about, both of these cards are about, studying. The 8 of Pentacles is about, doing while you study, but then the Page of Pentacles has to do with maybe some good news that comes in that helps sustain whatever it is you've been working on. And it might, because of the new information that comes in, or the new resources, something new that comes in, may put you into a bit of a state of suspension while you're looking and researching and just waiting and wondering. Looking at things from a different angle is definitely what the Hanged Man is all about. I love how this card, Chris Ann did did her in like, you know, the silks, like in Aerial Fitness. So shout out to Joe at Stardust Fitness in Florida. She's one of the leaders in that in that form of fitness, and it's just an amazing thing to watch. She's on Instagram if you want to look up Stardust Fitness. But anyway, so you know, you're hanging upside down, and the light is guiding you to look in the right direction. And you know, we have all of the cosmos here to help us. These are rune symbols. If you're into runes, you can look up the symbols here. But it looks to me like we have, like, you know, the gateway into the self here. And can't remember what these other ones are. It's been years since I've looked at them. But you know, reaching from your inner core, from the light within. Well, it's actually in every cell of your body, but I just see this kind of as like core light. But in the traditional tarot, there's a halo around the guy's head as he's hanging upside down, and it's a suspension. It's a place where you're looking within for the truth because you're not really sure of the right direction to go. And then once you figure out what it is, or as the information comes in, then that brings your craft into a whole new you know, like there's a new ingredient in the recipe here. There's some new information, new research maybe that has come in, and then that can put you at the top of your game. It can bring in an expansive type of energy, which is a really, really wonderful way to you know, to take in something that was previously unknown. And maybe it comes in, maybe the information comes in from the inside of you. Maybe it doesn't come from the outside. Maybe it bubbles up from within in your meditation. That's very possible. And then you know from that point which way to go, or to, you know, to continue developing. You know, this is a card of like research and development, as well as, you know, just doing it and then finding along the way how to do it better. But this card is definitely about doing it better, being at the top of your game. She's got dice up here around her neck, you know, which indicates that she's willing to take a bit of a risk. But it's, you know, to stay balanced and just open to the universe to come in to bring you whatever it is you need in order to expand. And focusing on what it is that you want will always bring you that expansive state. Now, towards the end of the week, you know, take heart with this. This card looks a lot harsher than it is. It's just a little bit of a restriction. It's a little bit of not being sure which way to go, or you haven't been able to, you know, do exactly everything that you wanted. Like maybe you got into a big expansive place of understanding what you want, but now you're like, oh, how do I do it? Well, this card, to me, the answer is always to trust your intuition. This is a place where you can't figure it out with your head. It's like your head gets tied up. You can overthink things. But if you let go and maybe even drop the questions into dream time, drop them into your meditation, and just let go and know that you're not stuck, you're not trapped. You can get up and walk away, but to look inside. Notice how this is a mirror in front of her, and the opportunity is to look inside for your answers. Always look inside for your answers. Okay, well, that's all I have for that week. I'll be right back. Okay, this spread covers April 19th through the 25th, and the theme for the week is the Ten of Swords, and it can be a painful ending for some of you, but it's also a release. The theme I always, or the deeper meaning I always find within the Ten of Swords is that you're walking away from something that just isn't working anymore. I mean, this is truly an ending. Now, this could be the end of worrying. It could be the end of nightmares. It could be the end of a way of life that just was not feasible anymore. And you know, if you're walking away from worry and fear, that's about the best thing that you can do. But just, it's, you know, focus on the horizon where the sun always comes up, and know that you're guided by the light. You know, your feet can walk the path of light. Yeah, I always feel like it's a release. It's definitely a releasing energy. And towards the beginning of the week, it looks very creative. It looks like there's inspiration that comes through. And to me, this with these cards together, it looks like the inspiration to do some deeper research. There's some ideas that come, that come to you, like the light bulb, the aha moments come in, and you get messages from the spirit world. Your guides, your guardian angels are, whispering in your ear, go look at that. They give you the idea to research something, and it's definitely, it's a path that's unknown because you're studying it, but it can lead you to letting go of what doesn't work anymore and moving towards, something that can be heart opening. If it is a relationship that you've let go of, it's because you really want something new, and you know that you can create it, and you're going to go look for it. I mean, this could be like online dating. It's possible. There's that real possibility, but it's definitely about a completely new way of moving forward, and from a heart-centered place of making choices that bring you peace, making choices that let you relax and be in your heart. Opening up to love relationships where your heart doesn't have any reservations. Sometimes it often just, is as often as it is about a love relationship, the lover's card is about partnerships. And, it can even be a group energy where it's, two groups that come together. It can be contracts, but it always has to do with making a choice. So the decision for the lovers, with the lover's card, the decision will always be, is it something that really pulls on your heart? Is it something that you really want to involve yourself with, because your heart's in it? Is your heart really in this? And if not, you can, the energy is here the rest of the week for it to be more relaxing and peaceful. And this is a card of meditation as well. It's a card of definitely of getting more rest. And it looked like, I believe it was last week, maybe even the prior 2 weeks, where there was tons of energy, lots and lots of energy. So this may be more of a week of integration. This is definitely a card of integration, heart opening and integration, releasing the past, opening to the new, but it's not formulated yet. These are like seeds that are dropped into the awareness of, hey, look at this. You could do this, you could do that, or looking for what it is that you want that you haven't found yet. Maybe you're working on something brand new and you have to go, find all the resources or find all the materials, and this would be the week where you're looking for it. And then you're letting go of what didn't work in the past because it was just too hard, and it's totally over. And now you're ready to open to something that really, feeds your heart, fuels your love. And then integrating, getting lots of rest at the, towards the end of the week. So, yeah, okay. I'll be right back with the last week. Okay, this spread will cover April 26th through the end of the month and possibly into May, the beginning of May 1st to May 2nd. And the theme for the week is, we have the Nine of Wands, and I always like to look at this card as being the guidance to, persevere, to keep working, to keep going for what it is that you want, and to, defend your space if need be, defend what matters, to prioritize, and then from that place, you don't have to be so defended against, like other people or other situations that, that are, could come in. So, but looking at the other cards with it, I get the feeling what this, with the deeper message for the week could be that if you can go inside and let go of, there's a lesson here to go inside and to let go of the traditional way of thinking, of the traditional way of moving through life. It's kind of, it's like breaking through the paradigms of rules and the way it was. This card also, it can relate to structures that are in place, as in like the government. It can relate to, schools and big organizations. Now, on our day-to-day life, it has to do with being our own wise guide, especially having the hermit in the same. I mean, we have both elements of being, trusting your own inner light. The way to find the light is through within. It's, he's laughing because he realized, oh, it's been inside of me all along. I've been trying to go up and out of my body and looking for, heaven or greater consciousness, God, divine spirit, great spirit, Allah, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is that comprises the divine intelligence that's inside of each one of us and in every cell of our bodies, and is the universe that we're in. Sometimes people tend to, when they're early on in their path, they tend to try and look up instead of looking in. And here he has discovered that it's always in. The treasure has been buried within, where no one would normally think to look. So there's that. That's the lesson I see. And then the inner conflict, the Five of Swords is about an inner conflict, and it has to do with winner versus loser kind of mentality, where we put ourselves as separate and at odds with other people. And if we do that, we will be in a defense that is not necessary. This is an opportunity to create win-win situations. And if you're not following the rules of the herd, and you're not in mass consciousness that says that, if they're wrong, then I'm right, or if I'm right, they're wrong, and there's all this judgment around what's good and what's bad. And if we can let all of that go and just be in the place of looking for win-win situations, and being careful not to get into like a argumentative, like warring type of mentality where you're pitting yourself against other, anyone else. Because if you do that, what happens is, you have to ride out the conflict, and there may very well be an argument that comes up, and then you have the opportunity to either defend yourself, which in the loving way would be, okay, well, I honor you where you are, but that's not my reality, and then you go the other way. You don't fight it out, you don't battle it out. And that's what I see here with these cards. I don't see there being any big battle. There are no other. If you look at it here, we have only the Nine of Wands, and this is not, the Nine of Wands is after the battle. The Eight of Wands is where the energy came in really suddenly, and you had to figure out what to do with it. But the Nine of Wands is you're firmly planted in your space, and you're protected, and and you just hold on. You hold on, and you keep going, because there's too much at stake to just let go. So it's getting the priorities of, what is it that's at stake here, and of course letting go of what isn't. But you've got the inner resources to do this. You have this, you've got this, whatever it is. So again, you guys are gonna have to, drop me notes in the comment section and let me know, how it played out for you this week. I'm really always interested. So the carrying into the rest of the week, the energy is there to go inside, to be a little more reclusive than normal, especially for a Sag. I know Sagittarian, it's all about, being out in the world and getting a lot done, and lots of movement, and always looking for the truth. But the truth is within. right? We can climb to the top of the mountains and look for the truth. We can try and, find it everywhere else in the world and by traveling all over the world. But at some point we wake up and realize, oh, it's been inside of us all along, and that's why, the laughter is there, because it is funny, actually. So, let go of looking for light everywhere else. But then again, this is like, know that your path within will always be the way to go. And it's a unique path for each one of us. It's, not the one size fits all thing. And then from there, there's the element of working on something, bringing three forces together. And this may very well be, like the family that works on something, has a project going on together. Or it could be the planning, like somebody's planning and somebody's doing the work. If you look at the images here, someone's supervising here. And this is the type of thing, this is definitely the card of teamwork here, because he can't really see from his perspective what she's seeing down there. And she maybe can't do what he's doing, because maybe he's like the strong person that's holding the weight up here, but he's trying to position things the way she wants, and she's over here, getting the elements together. So there's a lot of teamwork here. So that's the way I see it. For this week, it's about defending what matters, going inside, letting go of any inner conflict. And if it comes up, you just, you can work through it. And if you need help with that, I love doing sessions around that. That's my greatest, pleasure. So there's the Hierophant and the Hermit to, remind you to go inside, honor your light, and then from there you have the teamwork. You could look at this in another way, in that you have a team of spiritual support around you all the time that can help inspire you with your projects. That's another really important thing that can be true for you. But yeah, the lesson is to let go of any inner conflict and unnecessary defense mechanisms inside, but to honor what your priorities are. And you may have, many journeys inside to get in touch with that, and know that you have a spiritual team of support to guide you on your way. Okay, well, that's it for this month. I'll be back towards the end of the month for the May readings. And meanwhile, if you liked the videos, I'd love it if you let me know that. And please subscribe and hit the little notification bell so that you don't miss out when the next months are uploaded. Okay, thank you, and take good care. Bye.